Hey there, YouTube land. Big Dave here. This morning I'd like to answer a viewer question, and it's actually more than one question. It has to do with ligatures. And what I thought is I'll just go through a couple of things about ligatures that I think about, and then, you can get whatever you get from it and consider it in your own way. First of all, the ligature. The primary goal of the ligature really is to hold the reed on. I mean, it sounds very obvious, but it may not be. You see, and the shape of the ligature, the way that it comes above the table, this is the table, the way it comes above the table of the mouthpiece. And some ligatures, they fit better than others. So the fit is one concern. In other words, when you look at the ligature, does it fit around the reed, or is there some problem with it that it doesn't really fit? So, the thing is, the ligature might or might not fit properly. It might not have anything to do with how it works. See, this one pretty much follows the contour of the reed in the front and the back. So this is a good fit for this mouthpiece. This is one of the ligatures that I use sometimes. This is a Filtone Eclipse, and it's kind of like an auto link, but it's different. It's Phil Engelman. It's his own take on it. It's a great mouthpiece. So, but the thing is, when you look at the contour and the shape, how that ligature fits, and how much room is there on the screws. If the ligature is closing all the way shut, then you don't have any room to snug it up. And also, if it's too wide, then it sits at a kind of a funny angle, and it doesn't really do a good job. But again, like I said before, that may or may not have anything much to do with how the ligature works. You might find a ligature that fits poorly, but it plays great. It's just the way it is. So this is a basic 2-screw ligature. And this is actually the ones that come with the rubber auto links. If you buy a rubber auto link, this is the one that comes with it. It's a very basic ligature. The other one that's very popular is the Selmer. And they come in different sizes. The 2-screw, it's been around for years. This happens to be on a Selmer mouthpiece, but I use one of these on my other Filtone, and I use it on other things. It depends on how it plays on your mouthpiece, and again, like how it fits and how it holds your reed. If it's not really doing the job of holding the reed properly or giving you what you want, then obviously it's no good. These are more elaborate ligatures. Like this is the Doren V16 ligature. It's been around a very long time. It has the plate. Now, this is a T9 medium chamber. And the thing with this is you can change the plates on this. I had the old plate with the 4 pivots on it, and it was all worn and beat up, so the 4 pivots were almost gone. They were, so I went in a box and found some more plates. So the only reason this is silver is because it went to a different ligature. It really has nothing to do with the way it plays, but this is just a newer plate that's been on there for maybe a couple years. But my old one I had on there for like 10 years. And it was already kind of beat up and worn down, and it didn't fit right. So I changed it. Now, I like this ligature. I think it gives a good response. So, which brings me to the thing about the ligatures. I think probably the first thing that you're going to find with the ligatures is the response changes. One is better with the high notes. One is better with the low notes. One lets you articulate faster. One may have a better response in the low register when you go to play your low notes. Like, for example, articulate your low notes or slur into your low notes. You might find one seems to give you more buzz than another one, but what I think you should do is find a room that has some ambiance to it, and sit in the middle of the room and play into the corner. Just sit and aim your saxophone up, play into the corner of the room, and then see what you hear. It gives you a good idea of what the ligature is doing with that mouthpiece. Change the ligature, you'll hear a difference. If the room is really carpeted and has a lot of, like padded furniture, it might not work as well. So, try a room that doesn't have too much padding and stuff, and you can just sit in the chair, play into the corner, and see what you hear. So, the ligatures with the plates, again, you notice how this has still a space to loosen or tighten. There's enough room as you turn the screw to change the tightness or looseness. Now, a ligature should not be super tight. Some people over tighten the ligature and it ruins the way it's supposed to work. It should just be snug, like just put it on and not too tight. Here's another old standby on the Autolink, and I know how much people hate these ligatures. In fact, they despise them. But I'll tell you the truth. I think that's all I've ever used on these Autolinks. I've been playing Autolinks for since the 70s. And I only remember once putting on one of those Selmer 2-screw ligatures. I didn't even dig it that much. I took it off and I just put the other ligature back on. I remember my first one of these. It was in 1975 or whatever. I had a Florida Autolink, and the plate kept falling off. So I took it in the basement and put a screwdriver in there and then banged it with the hammer until the rivet opened back up, and then I played it like that. And I tried out for jazz band All-State, and I got first place in the jazz improvising category that year. But I had the wrong solo, because in those days there were no computers. So we only got the solo that was sent to the school, but I got the wrong solo. So I didn't know the solo when I went to play the solo. It was a little too complicated. But I still got first place in the improv for the tenor chairs. So I walked out of there, I was kind of excited about that. So even though I didn't make it, I still got first place for that. And I remember using a 7 Autolink, and the plate kept falling off. And I lost the plate like on the floor. I had to find it before I went in for the audition. So after that, I took it home and beat the crap out of it with a screwdriver till I fixed the plate. So here's another one, the Rovners. Now, Rovner has the light, which is open, and they have the closed. You know what? You have to test them. Sometimes for classical things, like on a rubber Selmer, I find that this closed one works pretty good. I actually like it better than the open. But for most stuff, I prefer the light Rovner, the open. I think it has more free breathing type of response. I think it plays quicker. But again, there's a certain dark kind of core you can get with this other one on certain mouthpieces. Some mouthpieces it kind of plays like resistant or something. I like it. But I do like it on like I said, on the rubber Selmer. It works good for me. And let me go to the newer ones. Like here's the Ishinomori. This is a copper. Now this is a great ligature. It has these plates, whatever it does. I have no idea. It has this silver thing. I don't know what this does. But I know I tried a bunch of ligatures on this Van Doren. You know what? I actually tested it on the 9. This is a 10. But it also works on my fill tone. My one fill tone. It doesn't work good on the other fill tone. So this is what I'm telling you. You have to try and see how it plays through your scales, if you can articulate your arpeggios and things like that. Record the sound. But don't go so much by what you're hearing in front of you, because sometimes the sound you hear in front of you is not what's going out into the room. And if it's too buzzy, that's another thing. But this is a great ligature. It's expensive, I guess. I don't know. You know, these are over $100 for this. But this, you know, I picked this one out, a bunch of ones. I played the solid silver. I played the others. I played like 5 of them, and just to test them out. And I didn't really know I was even going to buy it. But, you know, I was at Roberto's, and I says, let me try some of these. And this is the one I really liked it, and I bought it. That was it. Another one of the new ligatures that's around is the Silverstein. This is another one. I didn't buy this. I acquired it from somebody. And I don't think I would have bought this myself, to be honest with you, because I'm not really into, you know, too many ligature things. I reversed it. This is a C Winds Florida Pompano. I think they only made a certain amount of these. This is like an auto link. It's all engraved. It's a cool mouthpiece. Plays great. I mean, this is a great mouthpiece. It's a 7-star. And I don't know, I was trying a bunch of ligatures, and this was a soprano ligature. And I wanted to get the screw. First of all, it didn't fit right, and I wanted to get the screw back further. So you see how many holes are here? And this thing, wherever it is, you know, I didn't like where the screw was if I went the other way. So I loosened the band. These are pretty stiff, these wires. But I loosened the band and I reset up how I wanted it. And so if you look on this side, it's more obvious that this screw is more towards the back. So the way I use it is I have the 3 up front and I have the 2 in the back, and I find it just plays so even, and it has such a great response. The low notes, I can just play them right away. So I mean, I think there's a lot of merit to this ligature, and if you want to test them out, I know some of them have another bar on here. I have no idea. Like I said, this is a soprano ligature. This is not even the tenor ligature, but it's what fits on here, you know. And but this is a, you know, it's a fantastic ligature. It just plays right through the whole horn. It's so even. You don't even have that sensation where, you know, the note wants a squeak or something like that. It just plays right through. So that's it. All right. Well, I hope this answers some of your questions. So in closing, you know, try to go for the response, how it plays your music. Put the music in front of you. You know, put a couple pages of music in front of you and play your music. Take a different ligature on, put it on, and try play your music. One's going to play your music and one's not. Or one's going to play better than the other. That's what's going to happen. All right? So, anyway, happy Saturday. It's a great day on the East Coast. And go check out the weather. Bye-bye.